Hey, friendo, Steve here. Welcome back to Wrestle Juice. So WWE's Money in the Bank 2023 is on the horizon. It's in London, 3 weeks away. And on yesterday's episode, we looked at the men's Money in the Bank match. And I looked at, like, what are the possibilities? Who could potentially win that match? I ranked all the participants that are known, and I speculated on some that might still make it into the match. Because typically, there are 8 participants in Money in the Bank, and right now there's only, like, I don't know, a handful on both the men's and women's side. Well, today's episode, I'm looking at the women, and I'm looking at the match and who could potentially still be in it. Right now, I think there's 3 confirmed people in the match as of Friday. That should add another one because there's a qualifier. So right now, as of this video, Zelina Vega, Becky Lynch, and Zoe Stark are all in the match. They've won their qualifying matches. Coming up shortly, we've got Mia Yim versus Bayley as a qualifier and Shotzi versus Io Sky as a qualifier. I firmly expect both members of Damage Control to be in Money in the Bank, which would mean Bayley and Io Sky would make the match. Now, that's only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 participants, and usually there are 8. Now, I figure, just like in the men's situation, they're probably going to do a second chance or a last chance match where they take everybody who lost the qualifying matches and somebody gets to continue on. Somebody actually gets the match if they win that. In this case, I get the feeling that Shotzi is going to make her way into Money in the Bank, so I'm including her in this video. Generally speaking, she's good for a couple of big moments, a couple of big spots. I still think WWE likes Shotzi. They're just sort of figuring out the right time and place to push her. Which leaves still 2 spots left. I feel like one of those spots is going to go to Raquel Rodriguez. They're obviously kind of high on her, but they haven't really started a big push for her. Money in the Bank could be another big moment for her, so I wouldn't be surprised to see her win a qualifying match next week, maybe. Also, another name, there's like a bunch more potential participants in the pool of the women's division. Emma, Indy Hartwell, Candice LeRae, Dana Brooke, Maxine Dupree, even maybe they'd toss her in there because she's going to be getting trained by the Alpha Academy. Tegan Knox is still out there. Xia Li still out there. However, there is one name that I feel like they're probably going to put in Money in the Bank, and that's Piper Niven. She's been having, she had like a match recently with Dana Brooke on Main Event. They might move that match into a qualifying match on like Raw 2 weeks from now or something like that. So I could see Piper Niven being a late addition to Money in the Bank. So I put her in this video as well. So let's go ahead and rank, out of all those participants I just mentioned, who's going to win women's Money in the Bank this year. First up is, of course, a batch of people who I kind of feel don't really have much of a chance, but they're there to make the match better. First off, we're going to start with Piper Niven, okay? Piper's not really on TV a lot. I'm sure at some point they're going to give her a push. I really like Piper Niven, but she's in there for like the big power spots, right? We kind of know that. Next up, I've already mentioned her, Shotzi. She's also in this match for like a big moment where, I don't know, she does a big fun splash off of the top of the ladder, also known as a crossbody. Going in Raw, we call it a fun splash. Because people like Shotzi, and she's a lot of fun, and yeah, I think she's going to get one of those big spots. Although now looking at her and looking on the Money in the Bank briefcase, they match, like, you know, in terms of like the aesthetic. So I could see her as a Miss Money in the Bank, just not this year. Next up, we've got Zelina Vega. She's already qualified, and she had that really great moment there at Backlash where she got to perform in front of, you know, the big Puerto Rico crowd, and that was awesome. And they had her win her qualifier against Lacey Evans. So she's getting like a little bit of an LWO push. However, I kind of feel like she's going to have the moment. She's going to have like the penultimate moment where she climbs the ladder and everybody's like, oh my God, Zelina's going to win this thing. And then, like, I don't know, that somebody pushes the ladder over at the last minute, or somebody hops onto the ladder like a Zoe Stark and then takes her out. That's why I feel Zelina Vega's in this match. I don't really think she has much of a chance to actually win Money in the Bank. Let's talk about somebody who I think will be, like, these next batch of competitors I think are kind of like legitimately have a shot at Money in the Bank. It wouldn't shock me, for example, if they put it on Raquel Rodriguez. I think that Raquel Rodriguez, the only thing about Raquel is that she's a bad guy, right? She's a good guy right now. And generally speaking, you want Money in the Bank on a bad guy, even though they really don't take that route very often with the women's Money in the Bank. But Raquel Rodriguez, due to her size, she's booked very, very powerfully. I feel like she doesn't really need Money in the Bank. She just needs to be on TV more, put together some wins. And really, she needs a character that the crowd cares about. They might end up turning her heel before that ends up happening. But I kind of feel like she doesn't really need Money in the Bank. And it's not really her year anyway. She was the women's tag champion. But yeah, I feel like it's not really her year. But she'll have a good showing. Let's talk about somebody else, Zoey Stark. I think Zoey Stark is terrific. I love the position that they put her in with Trish Stratus, and I think it's going to help her elevate her name. So within a couple of years, I feel like she'll be a good Money in the Bank candidate. However, that time is not now. She's in this reason specifically for one. Sorry, she's in this match specifically for one reason and one reason alone, and that's to get rid of my next person, Becky Lynch. That's right. I think Becky Lynch will go into this match as a heavy favorite. Probably the Vegas betting odds are going to say Becky Lynch is going to win this match. However, I think that between Zoey Stark, and by the way, this image here of Becky Lynch, they need to update that on WWE.com. They have not done that. She's not had this look in a while. And this shoulder pad here, whenever I want to do a video like this, or do like a thumbnail or something, it always ends up overlapping somebody else's face. I can't stand that shoulder pad right there. It's all pointy and stuff. Anyways, Becky, I think, will be a strong favorite heading into this match. I mean, why wouldn't she? She's Becky Lynch. But I kind of feel like it's not her year. She's a big deal and everything, but her having Money in the Bank and going after like who's the Raw Women's Champion right now? It's Rhea Ripley. Hey, that's actually a pretty good match, but I feel like that match doesn't need Money in the Bank to be motivated. On top of that, Becky Lynch isn't going to do an opportunistic cash in on anybody. So I kind of feel like that's not going to be the situation. Or wait a second, is it Asuka? Asuka's on SmackDown, but she's Raw Women's Champion. So I don't know which title that they're going to be going after. I guess whichever one they want. They're both kind of bad guys, though. Anyways, let's see here. Also, not on this list, Bianca Belair. I feel like she's probably going to have a match against Asuka for the title at Money in the Bank, which, I don't know, could mean kind of any number of things. Let me fast forward here to the end. We got two more participants, somebody who will win her qualifying match, and that's Bayley. Of course, Bayley could touch. She's already won Money in the Bank. She's already cashed in Money in the Bank in the past. She could be a two-time Money in the Bank winner easily. This Money in the Bank match, I feel it's going to be sort of a story that pits Bayley versus Io Sky. There's been obviously a lot of teasing of dissension in Damage Control. Bayley and Io Sky both with their ambitions. Bayley sort of always trying to cut Io Sky off at the pass, even though she was the one who got that title shot for Io Sky. She also cost the title. She cost Io Sky winning that title at whatever that pay-per-view was. It seems obvious at this point, this is Io Sky's year. It absolutely completely is. If you look at the chemistry that she has with Asuka, and I'll be honest with you, I think Damage Control's on Raw now, and Rhea Ripley's on Raw, so maybe she'd have to cross over to SmackDown. Wait, no, Asuka's on SmackDown. Asuka's on SmackDown. Damage Control's on Raw, I think. So she'd have to cross brands. I think I got that right, which she totally would. If you look at the chemistry between Io Sky and Asuka, oh my God, are you kidding me? This would be amazing. Let's have her cash in, do like the announcement cash in. Or, yeah, Bianca versus Asuka at Money in the Bank. And then when Asuka wins that, or Io Sky cashes in to make it a triple threat, similar to how Seth did at WrestleMania years ago. And then Io Sky walks out whatever women's champion. They got to swap those titles, man, because that's just confusing as hell. Or get the new women's title. Well, that's ridiculous. Come on, it's been how long since the draft? Anyways, Io Sky's totally going to win this thing. The crowd's going to go absolutely crazy. And then Io Sky is going to cash in London there at Money in the Bank. Mark my words, that shit is happening. I think they're going to pull out all the stops. It's going to be the first time in a long time that you've had both cash-ins happen at Money in the Bank. And we're going to have two new champions. Drew McIntyre. Spoiler alert on the other video if you haven't watched that yet. But anyways, Drew McIntyre or Dominic Mysterio and Io Sky. Yeah, probably none of that's going to happen. But I mean, Io's going to win this year, right? You guys feel that, right? Io's totally going to win this year. Hell, Io Sky versus Asuka or Io Sky versus Rhea Ripley. Doesn't matter which brand or which title it is. I'll take either of those, to be honest with you. So let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Who do you think is going to win the women's Money in the Bank this year? Live from London. Let me know in the comments below. Do me a favor, hit that thumbs up, hit that subscribe button, the notify bell. Thanks for watching, everybody. I appreciate it. Till next time, we'll see you around.